Trader at True Trading Group. It is September 10th. Nice day. Played both sides of the fence on JNUG today. I caught a long in the morning on JNUG, then I caught a short in the afternoon. It was a really nice day. Lost a little bit of money today on Fran, which is continuing much higher here after the bell. Was a difficult stock to trade today. The stock was very, very choppy. This Fran I'm talking about. Most of you probably, every trader was looking at this Fran today, and you can see here after the bell we're finally making a directional move. But the entire day was just very, very choppy. This is an example of one of those stocks where intraday you can have two different traders, one long, one short. They can both could have easily lost money today. It was a difficult stock to trade during the day, and now finally you're getting some shorts that are covering out their positions. The stock did not break down today. I'm going to get into those two trades with you on JNUG, but since I have this Fran up and it's actually running right now at the close, we'll talk about my Fran trade first, which was my losing trade on the day. And then I caught a real nice win long JNUG and a real nice win short JNUG. So I'm going to talk to you about attacking a stock both ways, long and short in the same day, which I don't do often. It's very rare that I switch the script up like that, but I saw opportunities today in JNUG and I capitalized on them big. So let's talk about Fran first since I have it up. Fran was gapping up today, guys. We were gapping up above the 200-day moving average, which is this purple line you see on my screen. And what I also want you to notice is this $9 area. Okay, if you take out this outlier day, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4 resistance points at $9. But then we also had the 200-day moving average sitting there. So my game plan today on Fran, okay, was support in between $8.50 and $9. We got a little bit lower than that today. We got to like $8.30. All right, we got a little bit lower than that. But I drew a lineup in chat today around $8.70, $8.75, just to act as the midpoint. Like, hey, $9 to $8.50, I'm looking for support in that range. And when we go out now intraday, we kind of pan this over, what you start to see here is off the bell, Fran started to pull in the gap up. We started to pull that gap up in. Then I take out my Fibonacci retracement levels, and what we start to see happen here is that the 38.2 Fibonacci level starts to line up with this support level that I drew on the daily chart. It also lines up with the trade line. The trade line was working its way up there as well. So when we pulled back in there and we saw a little bit of a spurt of buying step in here, I actually got long Fran right there at $9.17. Okay, I take you guys to my trade announcements. I had to break it up into two separate images because we were active today. Not just myself, but Alex and Toner and the other moderators in chat were active today too. So our trade announcement sheet was pretty long. So I just broke it up into two sections so you guys can see mine. Here you can see at 9:56 a.m. long Fran at 9:17. All right, so there's the entry at 9:17. And it looked like we were going to try to reverse and make a push here, and then we rolled it over and made a brand new low of the day. So when we made that brand new low, I said, screw this. I just exited that trade, back to my trade announcements, sold out Fran at 866. So I ended up giving back, and I probably had too much size than what I should have had at this moment in the trade. So I gave back a chunk of my JNUG profits, but still a nice day with JNUG. And I exited the trade here. Then you could see it's like we made a new low, then we rally it back. Okay, it's like, and then we make another new low. So it's difficult. This was a difficult stock to trade because this stock made a low of the day 3 separate times. Okay, and that's difficult. That's a difficult stock to trust. That's a difficult stock to trade. If you guys just take a look at this, these are all brand new lows of the day. Okay, so to trust that stock becomes very difficult. All right, and it looked like, there were many times where, if you take a look at this, it's like it looks like we're going to reverse, then it looks like we're going to break down, then it looks like we're going to reverse, then it looks like we're going to break down, then it looks like we're going to reverse, then it looks like we're going to break down, reverse, break down, reverse. I mean, this stock was all over the place today. So it would have been very difficult to really trust this stock. And now after the bell, you're getting the short starting to get squeezed out because it did not break down in the afternoon. If this stock traded down here and we got down here in the afternoon, you would not be seeing this action that you're seeing right now. Okay, the fact that the stock was unable to break down, you're getting the squeeze type action. Definitely keep it on watch for tomorrow for sure. But if you lost money today in Fran, don't beat yourself up over it. This was a very difficult day trade. Okay, you're getting paid now if you held after the bell and you're holding for like a swing trade. You're getting paid now, but intraday in here, this was very tough, very choppy action. So just don't beat yourself up if you didn't make any money on Fran today. And if you held, congrats, you're up a real nice chunk of change right now. So let's get to JNUG. This was my big trades today, guys. This was my number one focus coming into the day. Okay, when we were going over the game plan pre-market, going over the watch list, JNUG was my number one focus. I liked JNUG long today off the bell. The reason why I liked JNUG long off the bell is because we were getting a gap down in the SPY. We were getting some weakness in the SPY. And I thought that the SPY was going to sell off in the morning off the bell. And JNUG was sitting at a key support level. So I thought if we had weakness in the SPY, okay, we should see gold kind of bounce back after getting beaten up the last 3 days as recession fears have started to cool off. And I thought this was a good place to try to get long JNUG. I'll take you to the daily chart so we can take a look at this level that I was looking at. And here we are. Okay, this is the level I was looking at on JNUG. Okay, here's your previous support. You can see here a little pivot resistance area. And you can see we had 3 days of a sell-off. Okay, we had a big 3-day sell-off on JNUG. And I thought to myself, if I'm going to get long JNUG for a bounce, this support level is a good area to do so. But more so, especially because I thought we were going to have weakness in the SPY off the morning. Okay, let's go back to the SPY. We gapped down today on the SPY. Okay, so here's the gap down today in the SPY. And I said, okay, we're gapping below this little support level around 297.50. You guys see the support level that's stuck here for 3 consecutive days, okay, on the SPY. We were gapping below it. So I said I thought we had room to the downside on the SPY. And if I'm expecting weakness in the SPY and I see JNUG sitting at a support level, I want to get long JNUG at that support. And if the SPY continues to sell off in the morning like I expect it to, I should see a move higher in JNUG and gold overall. Okay, so that was the game plan. This gap down below this key level in the SPY led me to believe we were going to be weak in the morning. And for that reason, I went after JNUG long. Okay, so now let's zoom this in. So here's JNUG. Here we are. Okay, right at yesterday's lows. Here's that line I drew. Okay, pre-market. So you can see right at yesterday's lows. I mean, almost to the penny, yesterday's lows. And we put in this big, strong reversal candle. That was a strong candle to me. We gapped down, pushed lower, and then ripped this thing right back. That candle said to me, okay, you know what? Now it's time to get long. And I went ahead and pulled the trigger long JNUG right there. Take it to my trade announcements. Nope, that's the second one. Here you guys can see long JNUG at 67.98. Stop loss $67. I'm risking about $1. All right, so there it is. Long at 67.98, just below that 68 cent area. So there's the entry point. Okay, and right away the SPY sells off, and JNUG rallies. Red to green move, beautiful red to green move, and I said thank you. I'll take my first profit off the table right there. There's the first take profit at 69.80. Okay, almost $2 a share within 4 minutes. I love this JNUG, guys. It trades. The range on it is fantastic. This thing moves $4 or $5 at a time. It's got great volume, great liquidity. It's really been a good vehicle lately with gold in play. So there's my first take profit. We pull in. We find support at VWAP. The SPY continues to struggle. Makes new low, makes a new low. And what did that do? That pushed JNUG up to a new high. And I took the bulk of my position off the table there in JNUG. I took more profit at 70.69. Okay, there it is. There's 70.69, the bulk of my position off the table. And I held on to one last piece, and then we had this deep pullback, which kind of caught me off guard. And I wasn't really sure why we had such an aggressive pullback there at 10:30 and I ended up exiting the last piece of the position 68.57. Okay, right there. Okay, so there's the final take profit. So here's the entry, first take profit, second take profit, final take profit. All right, I didn't like how deep of a pullback we had there. I thought for sure we were going to hold, consolidate here, and then maybe continue up towards 72, 73. But the SPY started to recover. Okay, or not recover, but the SPY started to hang in there and hold. Then we start to recover later in the afternoon. This is where now the short came into play. Now that I'm completely out of JNUG, I'm out of that long play, I'm thinking to myself, you know what? In the grand scheme of things, I started to notice something. When I go to a 15-minute chart, it becomes more clear. This is a giant bear flag. Okay, here's your down move. There's your flagpole. And here's your lower high consolidation flag. And now I'm saying to myself, you know what? That long idea that I had in the morning, yeah, you know, it was a good one with the weakness we had in the SPY. But in the grand scheme of things, big picture, we still look pretty weak on JNUG. And at this moment, the SPY was recovering. So I'm saying to myself, okay, we're getting strength in the SPY now. Okay, this was a strong move in the SPY. Okay, so as the SPY is now starting to recover, for whatever the reason, we're getting strength in the SPY, we're starting to recover. That would be a negative sign for JNUG. And what I started to notice here was, you see this downtrend line in this bear flag. I went ahead and I got short JNUG right there. Back to my trade announcements here. You guys can see short JNUG at 70.05. Let me zoom in. There we are, 12:30 in the afternoon. Short JNUG at 70.05. Okay, there we are. There's the entry. Because I'm starting to see strength in the SPY. Okay, and we're kind of double topping. We got this downtrend line. It looks like we got a bear flag on the 15-minute chart. And then I also start to say to myself, man, you know, this kind of looks like an ascending triangle pattern intraday also. You know, I can draw this line right across these higher lows and say to myself, okay, you know what? We're actually starting to form an ascending triangle here. So now, all of a sudden, my entire feel about JNUG within like 30 minutes to an hour completely changed. Okay, completely changed. And this is why you can't fall in love with the trade. You got to analyze the charts. You got to listen to what the charts are telling you. And I started to say to myself, you know what, we might actually have some more downside in JNUG with the SPY starting to recover. And it looks like we've got a little bit of a bearish setup here in JNUG that I can play off of. And I went after it short. I caught the entry right there short. And then we broke down below this trend line. And as soon as we flushed that down, I took my first profit off the table right there. Take you back to my trade announcements. Here you can see took some profit, covered at 68.93. Then we extended a little bit lower. And I took the bulk of my position off the table, 67.91. This order actually had 100 shares that did not fill. So they filled the bulk of my order, but I still had 100 shares at 67.91. I didn't get filled on. I was just sitting there. But I eventually just covered it out in this consolidation. So now I'm holding 25% of the position, and look what happens. We bounce back, and look where we find resistance at this damn trend line again. Resistance, resistance. So I'm still holding on to 25% of this position. We roll over there going into the bell, and I got flat the last piece of my position because I didn't want to hold this overnight. So I got flat right before the bell. You can see here at 3:55 p.m. My final take profit at 67.91. Again, I'm short from 70.05. You know, so this was a nice trade. It just added to my day. You know, I mean, well more than covers the loss that I had in Fran. And then I had the big JNUG long in the morning. So it was a really good trade. That Fran is continuing higher now. Yeah, Fran's still back above 12 bucks. So that JNUG was a really good trade, guys. You know, I played both sides of the fence today. Went long in the morning, caught it. Went short in the afternoon, caught it. There's nothing wrong with doing that, with playing both sides. Just don't try to do it so quickly. Okay, like there was time in between my long entry and my short entry. What you will never see me do is get long a stock. I get stopped out. So I was wrong on my long. I get stopped out and immediately short it. I don't do that. Okay, I don't do that. I think you need more time in between trades if you're going to flip the script like that. and you're going to try to play both sides, I think you're going down a dangerous path and a risky path if you do that mentally. Because the worst thing that could happen to you is you were actually right initially with the long. You just executed the trade poorly. You got stopped out, and the stock continues higher anyway, but now you're short. And now instead of losing on the trade once, you're going to lose on the trade twice. Then you're going to pick up your computer and you're going to throw it right out the window. Don't let that happen. Okay? Don't let that happen. Stay disciplined. Give it some time. Okay? Give it some time in between you going long and going short. Okay? I analyzed 2 completely different setups before I decided to go from long to short. It's not the same setup. I didn't say, okay, I'm getting long. It didn't work out. Now I'm just going to immediately get short. Okay, that I don't do. Some traders do. I don't suggest it. I think you're walking a dangerous path as far as like a mental game, and I think you can really start to screw with your head if you get caught on that trade both times. You're going to turn 1 loss into 2. So that's why I think it's not worth it just to flip the script like that immediately. Give it time. Make sure it's 2 separate setups, 2 separate analysis, and then go after it if you're confident in the setup. I was today in JNUG, and it paid off big. I'll see you guys in chat tomorrow. Take care.